Hey guys, welcome back to Garbage Trucks of Tucson. Here's my 2025 card update. I have a lot of new cards this year, so hope you guys enjoy, and let me know down in the comments what's your favorite cans. Alright, let's get into the video. Here is my 95-gallon demo Sierra. This was from the city of Scottsdale. This has been through two filmers. It was from Bear with trash truckers, and then it was given to David, who I got this cart from, and I just use it for wheels. So pretty cool cart. Here I have my extra lids. So I got a lot of Rarig lids, Sierra, Auto, Toter, Schaefer, another Auto. I always just keep them on hand if I ever need to swap them on a cart, or if there's a broken lid or whatever. So these are always good to have. All right, to start us off, here is my 25-gallon Auto Edge. Huge thanks to my buddies at Auto for giving this to me. Here's my 35-gallon Saguaro Auto Classic. Really cool cart. Huge thanks to my buddies at Republic for getting this to me on my tour down there. So it does have a small crack, but it's pretty small, so it doesn't matter. Here's my 35-gallon Republic Services Rarig NB. We don't have a whole lot of these, but we do have a few contracts that require 30s over here, so that's why we have these. So yeah, pretty cool cart. Here's my 35-gallon Waste Management Rarig NB. Shout out to my buddy David for getting this to me. They actually don't buy 35 gallons here anymore for some reason, so definitely cool to have. Here's my 35-gallon Waste Management Cascade Recycle. Huge thanks to my buddy Jacob for getting this to me down in Phoenix. We don't buy yellow lids over here, so definitely cool to have, because we only have the blue lids here. So yeah, shout out to you, Jacob. And last but not least, my last 35-gallon Waste Management Cascade. This said class only, but I decided to take it off because it was fading and it's whatever. So it does have the old print, so it's a lot cooler. This is the newer print, so yeah, pretty cool. Here are my two Republic Services 65-gallon carts. Over here I got the Rarig, EG, and the Auto Edge. This Rarig is really good condition, except for a few marks from rapid rails. They do tend to scratch a lot harder than the ZRs, so not really the best thing to grab these carts, but it's whatever. And I got the Auto Edge over here, another cool cart. So definitely cool carts to have. Huge thanks to my buddies at Republic for getting this to me. So shout out to you. Here is my Republic Services SSI Schaefer M Series. Really cool cart. It's not really marked up, except for a lot of scuffs from just these being stacked, which does get annoying because you can't really remove the scratches and scuffs. So, but other than that, these are definitely cool carts to have. They actually stopped buying these in 2017 at the Tucson yard, so it's definitely hard to find any of these in good condition. And then over here, we have two Republic Services 95-gallon Rarig EGs. The bottom ones, the bigger style, and then I got the shorter style on top. These are definitely cool carts. They bought these in 2019 and 2020. These, the bigger styles, they definitely do not get as much scratched than the shorter ones. Here's my Republic Services 95-gallon Schaefer Q Series. We actually got these from Phoenix. But this particular one and the top one which is brand new, and the bottom one's a used one, but those ones came from Buckeye, from a buddy down there. Shout out to you. And these are definitely really cool because Tucson's still buying toters over here, so hopefully they can get something else because toters don't really work well over here with the ZRs. And they bend, so it's whatever, but definitely a cool cart to have. And here's the same cart, but just trash. I got 2 of them and just 1 recycle. This one's brand new on the top, and we got the used one at the bottom, so definitely cool carts to have. Here's my 95-gallon Republic Services Rarig EG. This is the new style that they're buying in Buckeye, because as you can see, it has the different logo than the other EGs that we have. So this is a 2024 from the new Rarig plant that got built over there. So they're now buying Rarigs over there. So they do have this new print, which is definitely pretty cool, but these new Rarigs definitely do scratch a lot worse, which is whatever, but yeah, thanks to my buddy down there for getting this to me. It did come with a weird lid. It was like a lot darker, the lid, and so I just put a regular Tucson indented lid on it, so it's a pretty cool cart. And over here is my 2 Republic Services EGs. You got the bigger cell on the bottom and the short on the top, and lid's really good condition. The print is really good. Serial numbers are good. The bottom one's a little marked up, so I might see if I can get a better one, but these are definitely really cool. They're all clean. So here's my 65-gallon Saguaro Auto Classic. For those of you that don't really know about Saguaro, they were bought out in 2008, and Republic acquired them, and they slowly rebranded with the new ZRs and the rapid rails. But yeah, these carts are definitely really old, especially this roto. These were the first carts that they bought. This roto I completely restored, and I repainted it, and the logo is a lot better than what I had before. So this is a really cool cart, definitely cool to have. Huge thanks to my buddies at Republic for getting these to me, because these are definitely not the easiest carts to find. Here's my 65-gallon right-away disposal Auto Edge trash. Huge thanks to my buddy David for getting this to me. This thing has like no marks on the body at all, and which is very surprising as this can was made in 2019, but right-away disposal got bought out in 2018. So pretty cool to have. Here's my 65-gallon Waste Connections of Arizona Sierra Recycle. Not too much to say about this cart. It's cool. There's a few of these in Tucson, but not a lot of people have 65s over here. So thanks to my buddies at Waste Connections down in Phoenix for getting this to me. Here's my Waste Connections Rarig EG. This came from Southwest Disposal for you New Mexico filmers. This was from Benson, and I believe before it was from McKinney when they lost the contract. This can is like practically brand new. It's got like no marks at all. And it is also one of the new Rarigs. It was made in 24, so huge thanks to my buddies at Waste Connections down at the Tucson yard here for getting this to me. I did not know we were buying these until I saw a few of them that we got from Benson, so huge thanks to the buddies down there. Here's my Waste Connections of Arizona Auto Millennium. These came from the Apache Junction yard. These were warranty carts for a lot of the old rad carts that were broken. Definitely a cool cart to have. Tucson ended up with a few of these after they lost Eloy, so definitely cool to see a cart that's not rad, because the rad ones are definitely common, and these are not really as common here. And here's my right-of-way disposal 95-gallon auto Millennium. Not too much to say about this cart. It's kind of like this Millennium, but just with the rad branding. And it's got a little water in here, but it's whatever. Huge thanks to my buddies down at Waste Connections for getting this to me. Definitely cool cart. Here's my 95-gallon Sierra blue. This came from the Phoenix yard. Huge thanks to my buddies down there for getting this to me. We never bought these here, but I had a tour down there several years ago, and they were able to get me this cart, so thanks to you guys down there. And I have 2 Waste Connections of Arizona Sierras, just in the regular brown. The bottom one's brand new and the top one's used, but hopefully I can get a new one. Not much to say about these, but huge thanks to the buddies down in Tucson for getting this to me. Really cool carts. Here's one of my favorite carts, my 95-gallon BFI Auto Classic. Wow, this was a shock to get, I must say. This was a removal from somebody down here, and my buddies at Republic found it, and they were able to save me this cart because there is not a lot of BFI in Tucson, and the most BFI here you'll see is the tan ones that are toters, but I definitely like the dark blue a lot better than the tan. So huge thanks to my buddies down there at the Republic yard for saving this to me, because I was really worried that this was going to get scrapped. Here's my WMX Cascade. This thing is really rare. Tucson did have a lot of these back in the day, but most of them have been replaced, as a lot of them have cracked. This one has a crack right here, but I can't really do anything about it. It's always been like that. And it is a little scuffed up, so hopefully in the future I can find a little better one. Here's my 95-gallon Allied Waste Auto Edge. This cart came from Buckeye, and it's definitely cool to see an Allied Waste cart because most of them are either cracked or just they've already been replaced. And Tucson never had Allied Waste, so huge thanks to my buddy down in Buckeye for getting this to me. And here's my 95-gallon Allied Waste Auto Classic. This thing is cracked at the lid, at the end you can see, and it is cracked in the body too. But these are definitely cool carts to have, as like I said, we've never had Allied Waste over here, so I really like these carts and I really do enjoy them. Here's my Republic Services Auto Classic. Huge thanks to my buddies at Republic for getting this to me. We only bought a few of these down here, so this thing is a little scuffed up on the body, but these are definitely very rare to see a Republic Classic, because mostly you'll just see Saguaro carts over here, but especially it also being trash. So huge thanks to them getting that to me. Here's my Waste Management Recycle America Auto Classic. This was a document destruction cart. I had my neighbor draw up the lock because I cannot get the lid open, but it's a really cool cart. I don't know what's... It is a Weyerhaeuser, if I said that correctly. It's a paper company, and they bought these supposedly, so huge thanks to All Over AZ for getting this to me, or David, whatever you call him. Here's my TNT Sanitation Versa. This is one of my favorites also. It's got the original lid. The inside is clean. It does have a tiny crack, but it's whatever. It's very hard nowadays to find good Versas that are in good condition because they don't make the original lids anymore. Here's my Waste Management of Tucson WMX cart. These are extremely hard to find here. There was a lot of these back in the day, but since then they've all been replaced for the Evos and just the regular Cascades. One thing that's annoying about this cart is the lid is extremely heavy, just because it has a lot more plastic than the new toters. But I did have to reinforce it, and I did put a lid rod in here to keep it stable. So I just kind of keep it up against the wall just so it doesn't fall over. And here are my main carts, and let me show you some of my other ones on the side of my house and my garage. I do also keep some carts on the side of my yard just to store things in for my pool, and a tarp for my carts. So I also have a City of Tucson Environmental Services EVR1. This cart was abandoned on the side of the road. I completely washed it. It was really bad before, but it looks a lot better now. I've always been wanting a Tucson cart, but yeah, it's a pretty cool cart. After I did it, it does have a little bit of graffiti left, but pretty cool. Here's my Waste Management 95-gallon Rarig EG. This cart I traded from one of the neighbors on the other side of my neighborhood. You might recognize it. It was in my video of the Waste Management Chandler ZR, and I was able to get permission to swap this with one of my old Millenniums. These came from Cali. We never bought these. There's only a certain number that's still here that's actually intact, because a lot of them have already been cracked. I've noticed a lot of them are cracking just right here. That's where most of the new Rarigs are getting cracked. But definitely a cool cart to have, especially being a Rarig EG from Waste Management, so can't go wrong with that. Here's my Diggins Environmental Services Rarig EG. I keep a lot of stuff in here. I have a tarp for all my carts if I have like monsoons over here. So I just like to tarp my carts so they don't get full of water. But definitely a cool cart to have. Huge thanks to my buddies at Republic for bringing this to me several years ago. So thank you guys. Here's my Titan Trash Auto Edge 95-gallon. This is definitely a cool cart. They do not buy auto anymore. Thanks to my buddy David for getting this to me. This thing is a little beat up, and it is a little bit pressed in right here, but other than that, it's definitely a really cool cart to have. So shout out to you, David, for getting this to me. And over here in my garage, I have my SSI Schaefer demo cart 65 M series. I keep a lot of tools in here for washing carts and just miscellaneous tools. So huge thanks to my buddy Jacob for getting this to me. We traded this cart for some of the other carts I had, and this cart also has a safe waste latch. So definitely a cool cart to have. And what's really nice is it fits in my garage in this corner here, so definitely very convenient to have. Let me know down in the comments what are your favorite carts from this year's cart update, and let me know if there's any other Tucson carts you guys think I should add to my collection. Thanks for watching, and see you guys later.